It is a pleasure to welcome you here in the name of the Youth Summit Steering Committee. The Youth Summit was created in 2013 with a vision of a world where youth from all nations would come together and join forces to ensure that our fates are not determined by our gender, our race, our country of birth, or disabilities, but that we have the opportunity to define our own trajectories and to reach our highest aspirations. This year, the Youth Summit received 1,500 applications, and we have over 400 people in this room in Washington, D.C., coming from 117 countries. Beyond this room, we have thousands of people worldwide watching through the live stream. You are all smart, bold, and transforming the world in your own ways. For instance, I know that we have a participant, Laura, from Liberia here, who is leading an organization that provides scholarships to Ebola survivors and orphans in an effort to end illiteracy in her country. Right, yes, please, round of applause. We have another participant here, Honda, from Mongolia, who made her way to the office of the mayor of New York City, where she is working on anti-poverty initiatives. Let's give her a round of applause as well. And you all deserve these applause. You all are the reason that I am excited about this year's theme of human capital. Human capital can seem like a bit of a technical term, but it really simply is your potential as an individual. The World Bank Group needs youth leaders like you to achieve its goals. Last year at the Youth Summit, we discussed the role of technology and innovation in improving people's lives. But you cannot improve the world unless you invest in people too. I have read your applications, and I know that you individually all come with inspiring ideas on how to build human potential. From ensuring that babies are not condemned to a life of poverty before they even utter their first words, to ensuring that women in all countries have the ability to reach the highest political offices. But building human capital is a collective effort as much as an individual one. The Youth Summit brings you together for these 2 days in one location to give you the skills, the knowledge, and the network that you need to make a difference in your communities. So I'm going to give you a few insider tips as to how to make the most of this event so it outlasts these 2 days in this room. The agenda for this event was built to ensure that we look at the entire life cycle of an individual and that we identify at each stage of their lives the best ways to enhance their human potential. I encourage you to make the most of the 9 keynote speeches to ensure that you understand the best ways to influence the highest level strategies in organizations like the World Bank Group or Hilton or other private and public sector institutions. You as youth have the ability to help design those high-level strategies, and this is your chance to learn how. Our 22 panelists will dive into more technical conversations on human capital. I want you to listen to their expertise, their knowledge, their experience through the lens of your own priorities so that you can actually apply this knowledge in your projects when you come back home. Our 27 workshops are the chance for you to build the skills that you need to actually take those ideas and translate them into actions. Please make sure that you interact fully in those workshops. Just speak with your organizers, ask questions to your fellow participants. This is how you will make the most of these sessions and of the summit. Tomorrow, you will have the opportunity to watch our 6 finalists, who were selected out of 1,300 applicants, pitch right here in front of you at the Youth Summit. This will be an inspiring time for you to learn from their pitching styles, from their ideas, so that maybe next year you can be the one applying and pitching here in front of the audience. So to make sure that you actually take this advice and apply it during the next 2 days, I am going to give you 3 challenges that I want you to commit to during these 2 days. So make sure you have your notepads out, your computers out, and that you write them down so that you remember them throughout the next 2 days of the summit. My first challenge for you is to widen your network. I want you to find someone in the audience, or if you're watching online on the Facebook group or on Twitter, who is from a different continent, but works in the same sector as you. And I want you to take a picture with them and tweet them with the hashtag WBG Youth Summit, mentioning your 2 countries and the goals that you have for the Youth Summit. My second challenge for you is to widen your perspective. Ask a question, whether you're asking it to one of the panelists, or keynote speakers, or to each other in the audience. This is your opportunity to learn something new. Human capital isn't just about acquiring knowledge, it's also about learning how to think. And there's no better way to do that than to interact with people with different backgrounds and from different countries. My third and final challenge for you is to come up with one action plan of one thing that you will do differently when you return to your community after the Youth Summit. Whether it is changing the way that you do your work, your job, whether it is changing the way that you do advocacy or how you do your studies, just think of and write down something that we will learn from the Youth Summit that will influence and make a difference in your community in the month following your return from the Youth Summit. I hope you really enjoy this event, and I really look forward to meeting all of you during the next 2 days. Let this Youth Summit be the place where we sow these seeds of change. And I'd like to introduce now my co-chair, Samia, who will give another introduction to the Youth Summit. Thank you very much.